trying to hide the evidence of underground digging. Best place to put it would be in the middle of a wall.
Drill's going in now. Hold it. They hit something at 11 feet.
That could be where the treasure's hiding.
I detected gold.
Wow. 100%.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Well, there you go, guys.
For over 200 years, Oak Island has kept its secrets buried deep, teasing treasure hunters with clues, legends, and elusive gold. The Lagina brothers have pushed the limits, finding gold in the surrounding waters and even speculating that some might be hidden in the plants. But now, the game may have changed forever. What if the solution to all of Oak Island's puzzles was found just an hour ago? What they found at Smith's Cove has stunned everyone and could rewrite Oak Island's history. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single twist in this incredible story. The Curse and Courage. Deep underground, an old handcrafted ladder leading down into a dark, water-filled passage shows that people have been exploring the island long before this. According to local legends, one more person may have to die before the curse guarding the treasure can be broken. Despite this chilling story, the Lagina brothers and their team push on with determination. At one point, Paul, a member of the crew, shares his excitement about their current location, while the camera shows the team setting up to drill in a new spot. Marty Lagina checks in with the team to see if they're ready to bring in the drilling rig, and they all give a confident nod. As the drill pierces the earth, the shadows of the past threaten to reveal secrets long buried. As the next week of exploration begins, Marty talks about how Dr. Spooner and Dr. Fred Michael have found a particularly interesting area based on water sample tests.
Oh, the water samples are indicating presence of gold. Well, certainly the wood should as well.
With a broad gesture, Marty points to the spot, recalling a previous conversation where the team discussed this development. During that chat, a light-haired man with glasses spoke passionately about a promising discovery they had made. Tests in the boreholes near the money pit indicate that the treasure could be hidden in a small area about 70 feet by 25 feet west of the garden shaft. The team has named this area the Blob. In a flashback, an expert explains how several objects containing certain metals are found in this region. Dr. Spooner, along with Dr. Fred Michael, have narrowed the search down even further, focusing on a tiny 20-foot by 20-foot area between 80 and 120 feet deep. They jokingly call this new spot Baby Blob. At the moment, everyone is gathered around a map discussing the fascinating details of their latest research area. They suspect there might be a tunnel at a depth of around 95 feet that could lead to their area of interest. This tunnel could either lead them to a breakthrough or set them back. The crew marks a large orange X on the ground, realizing this could be their best chance to explore several possibilities at once. Marty's response is straightforward. It's time to bring in the drilling rig. The team prepares to start drilling at borehole DN 11.5, hoping to find something valuable. Maybe even uncover a tunnel beneath the garden shaft, where traces of gold have already been found. Excitement is building as they get closer to what could be the climax of all their hard work. Months of water sampling may soon lead them to the legendary hidden treasure. Marty is hopeful that they'll find something significant, even if it's not the ultimate treasure. However, he keeps a practical mindset, not wanting to get too carried away. For a brief moment, Marty steps away, and Oak Island historian Charles Barkhouse takes over the operations. But things take a turn when the drilling begins at borehole DN 11.5. Shortly after, Marty returns with Scott Barlow, Oak Island's operations manager, and Roger Fortin from Duma Contracting Limited to take a closer look at the garden shaft. They're aiming to dig down to 80 feet, and right now Roger estimates they are about 60 feet deep. The Duma team has been clearing out debris and putting in waterproof wooden sections every 8 feet, called sets, as they dig deeper, looking for signs of man-made chambers and artifacts. Marty feels lucky to be able to go down into the garden shaft himself, where he spots an old ladder, a relic from the island's mysterious past. Inside the shaft, Marty is amazed by the ladder, which seems like a forgotten piece of history from earlier explorers or treasure hunters. Scott takes a close look at the ladder's craftsmanship, pointing out that it was built by hand back when there were no modern tools. This old ladder, now seen as an artifact, gets them talking about the person who made it and what he might think of their search for the treasure today. But this wasn't the biggest mystery. The question remained, could the person who made that ladder have also hidden a large amount of gold in the shaft? It's a reasonable theory, especially when you consider how much skill it took to create such a strong ladder and leave it so deep underground. In a flashback from 3 months ago, the team had drilled a borehole about 18 feet from the garden shaft and found a large empty space that could be another chamber. Now, Scott sees a similar collapse in the garden shaft at the same depth, and they wonder if it's connected to that earlier discovery. This new finding adds even more anticipation as they keep drilling, eager to discover what secrets are still buried in this historical and puzzling site. The team is full of excitement as they wait eagerly for proof that their theories might be correct. They are hoping to find a hidden chamber, tunnel, or even another shaft near the famous garden shaft. In the Money Pit area, Charles Barkhouse, the historian, and Terry Matheson, the geologist, are hard at work. They're intently watching as borehole DN 11.5 is drilled, now reaching between 80 and 120 feet below the surface, the depth where they believe treasure could be hidden. While monitoring the drill, Andy, a geoscientist, walks over to see how things are progressing. Terry tells him they've reached a depth of 78 to 88 feet, getting closer to their goal. Suddenly, a loud grinding noise cuts through the air, drawing everyone's attention to the drill. The sound grows louder, prompting the drill operator to quickly stop the machine and inspect the drill pipe. Upon checking, he discovers an open space about 1.5 feet wide, meaning they've broken through into an unknown void. Terry's face tightens with concern, worried about what this could mean for the crew. The operator confirms that they've hit an empty space roughly 90 feet down, a discovery that could be significant. Charles, Terry, and Andy huddle to discuss their next steps, deciding to pause the drilling to better understand what they've just encountered. Charles pulls out his phone to call Rick and Marty Lagina, the brothers who have invested so much time and money into the search. In a side interview, Rick expresses his excitement about the progress at borehole DN 11.5, a key area where gold might be hidden. He rushes to the site to join the team and hear the latest news. Mike, the drill operator, recounts feeling the drill break through something at 90 feet, leading to the void below. The discovery brings both hope and anxiety. Have they hit a hidden treasure chamber? Or has the treasure fallen into the empty space? Terry examines the map and notes that boreholes DN 11.5, DN 12.5, and DN 13.5 appear to align, suggesting a pattern in the ground at 94 feet. Mike's discovery at 90 feet might represent the top of a tunnel, consistent with findings from nearby boreholes. This raises hopes that they've tapped into a significant underground structure, possibly connected to the Baby Blob area, where high levels of gold were previously detected. Yet, it's not the breakthrough they'd been hoping for. The team is left questioning what they've really uncovered, and whether it will bring them closer to treasure, or just more mystery. With that possibility in mind, Marty instructs Mike to start pulling core samples from the area to determine whether they've struck a tunnel or something else. Motivated, Mike and another operator, Colton, resume drilling to collect the sample. Meanwhile, Rick reflects on how every void they uncover could be a step toward their ultimate goal. The team has been piecing together the puzzle slowly, with each clue bringing them closer to the treasure. As Mike lowers the drill again, Rick watches intently, hoping the core samples will finally provide some answers. When the core is retrieved, Terry, Charles, and others gather to inspect it. Right away, they notice fragments of wood in the sample, immediately grabbing their attention. Could it have come from a chest? Or something as old as the handcrafted ladder they discovered earlier? Excitement builds as they contemplate the possibilities. The geologist quickly takes a piece of wood, seals it in a plastic bag, and plans to send it for testing to check for metal content. Later that day, at the Oak Island Interpretive Center, the team waits anxiously for the test results. They are joined by Craig Tester and Emma Culligan, a metals analysis expert. Emma uses a special XRF machine, capable of detecting minute amounts of metal in materials. However, the results only show small traces of metal in the wood. Emma stresses that further testing is needed to be certain. It's not the breakthrough the team had hoped for, but it reflects the challenge and complexity of their search. As Emma displays the data on her computer, she points out that the materials found are typical of Oak Island, prompting the team to consider what this might mean for their next steps. But a surprising discovery is just around the corner: traces of treasure. Culligan highlights something that immediately captures the team's attention. While common elements like iron, magnesium, and aluminum were present, a small trace of gold really stands out. The unexpected find sends a wave of excitement through the team. They quickly start asking Emma if discovering gold in wood is unusual, and she confirms that it is indeed a rare and significant find. Delving deeper into the data, a chart shows that the gold content is small, ranking 12th out of 14 elements detected. Yet, it aligns perfectly with the team's theories about the area. For the first time, they have concrete evidence supporting the idea that they are searching in the right location, an area with real treasure potential. This discovery provides a much-needed boost to team morale. After countless days of hard work, even this tiny trace of gold feels like proof that their efforts are moving them closer to Oak Island's hidden riches. Rick, ever the optimist, sees these findings as small breadcrumbs that could ultimately lead them to the treasure. To him, every detail, no matter how minor, is part of the bigger picture. The trace of gold becomes a critical piece of that puzzle. Rick often reflects that while treasure isn't discovered in the lab plays a crucial role in unraveling the mysteries of what they find. The team agrees they need to provide Emma with more samples, hoping this is just the beginning of larger discoveries. But the excitement doesn't stop with gold. The team is equally focused on keeping their findings confidential, making sure their work remains under wraps, while they explore what lies beneath the surface. A newly discovered gap under borehole DN 11.5 sparks new theories about what might be hidden underground, heightening the thrill of the hunt. The garden shaft quickly becomes the focal point, as signs suggest it could conceal valuable secrets. With fresh traces of gold detected in both water and wood samples, Rick and Marty Lagina feel they are steadily inching closer to the treasure they have sought for years. The episode begins with Rick Lagina and his son Alex entering a tent near the money pit. Monitors and equipment are ready for another day of drilling. Brandon Vanderhoof from Dumas Contracting supervises the operation as a large crane carefully lowers a drill into the garden shaft. The team watches the live video feed of the shaft's interior, hoping it will soon reveal something significant. As the day starts, the Dumas Contracting crew sets up machinery and begins the probe drilling process. This is a pivotal moment, as they believe they are very close to uncovering what lies beneath the ground. The team's excitement builds as drilling starts just outside the garden shaft, where recent tests indicated traces of gold in the water. However, this isn't the breakthrough they were hoping for. The drilling has only just begun, and the mystery still looms large. The possibility of a nearby chamber connected to the original money pit, located just a few feet from the garden shaft, adds to the team's hope. Rick keeps encouraging the group, urging them to remain optimistic even during long stretches without results. He sees this as a turning point in their treasure hunt, convinced that everything they've done so far has led them to this moment. Meanwhile, Alex shares a new discovery with Brandon. While drilling, they found an empty space or void in the shaft. Brandon is surprised by the news, showing how the team sometimes keeps details close until they have more information to share. In a flashback, we see Marty Lagina discussing some of their earlier drilling efforts. They had drilled near the garden shaft and found a 10-foot void. This empty space could be where the treasure vault of the money pit is hidden, making their current drilling even more crucial. The team continues drilling deeper into the garden shaft, reaching a depth of 55 feet. They plan to drill multiple small boreholes extending beyond the shaft's walls in an attempt to reach the void they believe exists below. Rick reminds the team that any new discoveries need to be shared immediately. With some luck, they hope to uncover a hidden chamber or vault today. The Dumas crew gets ready to continue drilling using a strong hydraulic drill that can cut through tough materials. They have a plan to drill 12 different holes at various angles, increasing their chances of finding something man-made or valuable below the surface. But Rick isn't done thinking ahead. He asks Brandon if they can collect the wood shavings from the boreholes. His plan is to send these shavings for analysis, hoping that more gold might be found. With high gold values already detected in the area, Rick's careful approach could provide the next big clue in their ongoing search for the Oak Island treasure. The team's next findings could reveal more than expected. As Charles steps into the tent, he's greeted by the sight of the live footage from the shaft on the monitors. Since the space inside the shaft is too tight for him to go in with the Dumas team, he watches everything closely from the tent. Rick wastes no time and says his goodbyes, eager to rush the latest samples of water, soil, and wood to Emma Culligan at the Oak Island Interpretive Center for analysis. The story then moves to the next day, where Rick, forestry technician Peter Romke, and Lier, another team member, stand in Lot 26, looking at what they think is an old stone wall. Rick shares that Romke, who has a background in forestry, was the one who brought this to their attention. After studying the wall that morning, Romke explains that while his work is with trees, he's always been fascinated by stone, and even has experience building walls himself. He points out the way the outer stones are angled inward, which is a method used to strengthen rubble walls. This technique, Romke notes, is similar to those used in Old English and Scottish castles. He also mentions that these kinds of walls usually start with a foundation of rough gravel to make them more stable, and he sees similarities with the land they are standing on. This observation makes them wonder about the skill and purpose of whoever built on the island centuries ago, possibly hinting at the type of structures they were trying to build, and maybe even where the treasure might be hidden. Rick then turns their attention to a nearby well. Unlike the other wells scattered across the island, this one is constructed in a completely different style. Rick recalls that Terry Duvet, a historian, once mentioned that this particular well's design dates back centuries and closely resembles wells found in New Ross, a town roughly 20 miles to the north. In a flashback to 2016, the team had examined New Ross, suspecting it might hold connections to the Knights Templar, who were rumored to have hidden treasures and ancient relics. Back at Lot 26, the team discusses the possibility that the stone wall may have been built to conceal something, perhaps evidence of digging or tunneling. The stones seemed too deliberately arranged to be random, and they start to suspect it was all part of a careful plan to hide the work from view. As this theory unfolds, Rick's nephew, Peter, jokingly suggests that Lear should uncover an artifact to back up the new idea. But the mystery doesn't end there. Despite these exciting discoveries, many questions remain unanswered. The following day, Charles meets with Brandon Vanderhoe at the Money Pit to review the latest drilling progress. Brandon reports that they are about to start the final drill before moving on to the next stage in constructing the shaft. However, shortly after they begin, the drill strikes something solid at 11 feet. Drilling stops, as no one is sure whether it's simply a rock or something of greater significance. The team takes a sample from the spot, hoping it will show signs of human activity. Unfortunately, the sample comes up empty. Despite this setback, Charles remains optimistic, suggesting that they simply need to drill deeper to uncover what might be hidden beneath the surface. The next morning, the team gathers under a tent near the Money Pit to examine the core samples. Emma Culligan arrives with results from the initial samples taken from the borehole. She demonstrates how her scanning equipment can analyze even the tiniest fragments of material. Rick notices an item Emma has placed on the table and asks about it. Emma explains it's a sample of wood from inside the garden shaft, the very same wood they've been discussing. The real surprise comes when Emma reveals her findings. The wood contains gold. This confirms the team's theory that the shaft itself could hold traces of treasure. Excitement ripples through the group, and this new evidence strengthens their belief that they are on the right track. Marty, always attentive to detail, asks Emma how confident she is in her results. Emma assures him that her tests are highly reliable. She explains that while the amount of gold is small, it is still significant, and the team buzzes with anticipation. Marty points out that even a tiny concentration, measured in parts per billion, can be meaningful. Their discussion shifts to next steps, including testing additional samples like water to validate the findings. Yet, this is not the ultimate victory. Even with such promising news, the team knows they are only beginning to uncover what might lie below. The episode concludes on a celebratory note. Laughter and excitement fill the camp as the team revels in their progress. The discovery of gold, even in minuscule amounts, has reignited their energy. Each new clue brings them closer to unraveling the mystery of Oak Island and ultimately finding the treasure they have pursued for so long. But what exactly was discovered on Oak Island that forced everyone to evacuate? Let's set sail to Oak Island, a secret island off Nova Scotia's southern coast, and explore the fascinating revelations waiting there. The team, led by the treasure-hunting Lagina brothers, has been searching the island for elusive riches for nearly 10 seasons. Fans of The Curse of Oak Island know that toward the end of one season, the team made an astonishing discovery that convinced them there really is gold on the island. Unsurprisingly, this breakthrough filled the group with renewed determination, giving the men a fresh gust of energy as they pressed on with their quest. The team had remained focused on the initial Money Pit region discovered by Daniel McGuinness in 1795 when he discovered a circular dip on Oak Island. They accomplished this by excavating the B4 C shaft, which is positioned just 5 feet off borehole C and is claimed to be 90 feet deep in the ground. They did so with bated breath, hoping to make the breakthrough that legions of men had failed to achieve for almost 2 centuries. This breakthrough is likely if the team is able to locate the hidden treasure chamber or an adjacent vault that may contain the treasure chest full of gold. Recently, the team made some exciting discoveries in the C1 cluster. This discovery may reveal evidence of forested tunnels dating back to the 15th century. Looking at these elaborate discoveries, one would be left wondering how humans of the time acquired the capacity to construct such structures. You may also question why they needed such a tunnel. Whatever the answer, the discovery of what appears to be large levels of silver and gold has fueled speculation about the site of the original money pit, or, at the very least, a chamber containing riches. The location of the 90-foot tunnel indicates that the crew is approaching the original money pit, and with luck, they will reach the most sought-after spot on the island. As the excavation continues, the team comes upon some wood boards. However, discovering a huge iron fastener from the 1800s piques the excavator's attention. Due to the crude nature of the fastening, this item most likely originated before the discovery of the money pit. Along with the fastener, the crew discovered a spike, which they expected to examine at some point in the future to determine the historical relevance of this relic. Unfortunately, the team was forced to take a breather as they approached a blockage at 130 feet in the B4C shaft. Due to time constraints, all excavations on the money pit had to be halted for the remainder of the year. Despite this disappointment, the team's recent findings strengthened their desire to recover the wealth hidden somewhere on Oak Island. Moving forward, the team has been forced to grapple with the money pit's intricate nature, reinforcing their opinion that modern technology must be used to make any headway in their search. The finding of vast quantities of gold and silver beneath the island's surface spurs the desire to continue searching. As a result, even though they are on hiatus, the team is more determined than ever to accomplish the breakthrough many have coveted for over 2 centuries. Over time, the crew proceeded to analyze the spike with the assistance of Carmen Lega, a blacksmithing expert. Lega discovered the spike's origin dates back to medieval times, and the item was known to be a rock drill after studying it using cutting-edge technology such as C14 testing. He suspected it was linked to a pair of swages discovered by the crew 2 years ago, making the spike even more intriguing to those invested in this journey. When it was discovered that the drill was used to smash boulders back in the day, it opened up an array of options for the team searching for the location of this elusive hiding spot and what might be buried within its inner chambers. Could the surge prove they are getting close to the legendary treasure? It is probable that the spike and proposed rock drill have enough historical relevance to be linked to the original money pit, and that they have to provide us with information about the technology and techniques utilized to dig the money pit. Other recent discoveries, such as the stone-paved area in the swamp and the ancient stone road, have added to the excitement generated by the study of some of Oak Island's hidden regions. This will allow them to discover more about the individuals who may have established the money pit. Eager to uncover the truth behind such puzzles, the appreciative Lagina brothers remain convinced that they will discover the wealth hidden on the island, and thus the dig will continue. At the same time, they also look for critical facts about the island. This might take them all the way back to the end of the 18th century, when Daniel McGinnis and his pals dug up the first money pit in the hopes of unearthing some of the fortunes concealed by criminals during the golden age of piracy. However, when they dug deeper into the ground, they discovered more and more planks. As the team ventured deeper into the mysterious depths of Oak Island, their excitement grew with every platform and artifact they uncovered. Yet, a sense of caution crept in when they reached 20 feet, prompting them to pause for a moment. The real heart-pounding moment came about 90 feet later, when they stumbled upon a remarkable etched stone slab, only to discover a hidden booby trap that led straight to the sea. Shock and awe filled the team, mingled with a tinge of fear. The deeper the mystery went, the stronger their determination to unravel Oak Island's secrets became, driven by both the thrill of discovery and the lurking danger. Who could have created such a deadly trap? Despite weighing the risks and the treasure's value, The team found their courage again and pressed on with their quest. As a result, the adventurers uncovered incredible finds while digging further into the money pit. Around 90 feet down, they found even more clues pointing to silver and gold. This discovery rekindled their hope that they were closing in on the original treasure hole, or perhaps a hidden chamber or vault that had evaded fortune hunters for centuries. These findings thrilled both the team and viewers alike, bringing them closer to the answers sought for generations. The perilous booby trap did nothing to stop their pursuit of treasure. Meanwhile, other discoveries, like a fastener, a spike, and a wealth of precious metals, encouraged the team to push even harder in their search for fortune. Despite the island's challenging riddles and hidden dangers, the Lega brothers and their crew demonstrated true spirit and courage in their pursuit of answers. Remember to subscribe to our channel to explore more mysterious discoveries from around the world. The echoes of centuries past continue to resonate as the dust settles on this extraordinary journey through Oak Island. The Lega brothers and their daring team face the island's secrets and perils head-on, edging ever closer to the elusive treasure that has taunted hunters for years. While the ultimate prize remains just out of reach, the journey itself has been one of wonder and discovery. We leave Oak Island with the thrill of adventure, the excitement of the unknown, and the hope that its hidden treasures will one day be revealed. Until then, the legend lives on, inspiring future generations to chase the world's greatest mysteries. What do you think about these discoveries and the mysteries of Oak Island? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to click the next video popping up on your screen for more thrilling adventures.